Hello everybody, how are you? My name is Salim Akhtar and today we are going to solve this trigonometric equation. In this trigonometric equation, they ask you to find a solution. You can see here, we have a word solution, means to find the value of x. This whole is a trigonometric equation and this one is the range given. Like in this range, we need to find the value of x. Okay, so first step is to make x subject from here. First step is to take this trigonometric equation down here for sine half x negative 30 equals to 2 into under root 2. Okay, now divide this 4 on both sides. Sine half x negative 30 equals to 2 into radical 2 divided by 4. I just bring this 4 down here, and after simplify this one, you will get sine half x negative 30 equals to square root 2 upon 2. Now here, this is step number 1. You need to remember this step. Step number 1, you don't need to write this step number 1. Actually, it's just for you to just remember that we need to do this. We will take sine inverse here. Once you take sine inverse here, you will get the value which is called alpha, the basic angle. So we'll take sine inverse from here, and sine inverse will be radical 2 upon 2. After like putting these values and take sine inverse of that, you will get 45 degree. So basic angle is 45 degree. Now always remember, what is a basic angle? Basic angle is actually an angle which has some properties, like it is always acute. Sometimes you can get value more than 90 degree, but you will subtract that value from 180 degree to make it acute angle. And sometimes it's also happen that when you take sine inverse or cos inverse or whatever the case is, you get a negative answer, so we'll make it positive. By default, it's positive value. So it has some properties. The first property is acute. The second one is its value is always positive, and the third one, it is always in anti-clockwise direction. Okay, and the fourth property is that it makes angle with a positive x-axis. It makes angle, this 45 degree is in anti-clockwise direction, but the angle starts from the positive x-axis. Angle with a positive x-axis. Okay, so once we get this value of alpha, let me show you. We have these 4 quadrants: first quadrant, second, third, fourth. So this alpha is actually, now once we get the value of alpha, we need to see what is the sign of this trigonometric function. If you can see here, the sign of trigonometric function in this case is positive. Like this whole thing, sine of this whole angle is equal to plus radical 2 upon 2. So it's with the positive sign. It means sine is positive. Now we need to find that angle on which the sine is 45 degree and the angle is 45 degree. So sine is positive, and when sine is positive, we need to find the quadrant in which the sine is positive. Like we already know that all the trigonometric functions are positive in first quadrant. In second quadrant we have sine positive. Third quadrant we have a tan positive and cosine positive. So ASTC is actually our standard format through which we can see which trigonometric function is positive in each quadrant. Okay, so once we get value of alpha, now the second step is, step number 2 is to see what is the sign of trigonometric function. It's positive now, so it's positive. It means we have to decide now in which quadrant we have to go. Now we have to go in first quadrant, which is already we knew that the value is 45, and in second quadrant the second angle will be from the second quadrant, and we know that how to go in second quadrant is to subtract this 45 degree from 180. This is the method through which you can go in a second quadrant. And in third quadrant, if you want to go in third quadrant, you will add alpha with the 180 degree and 360 minus alpha. Okay, so since sine is positive, so we need only to go in first and second quadrant. Actually, we have a permission to go in four quadrants, but according to this interval, but this the sign of this trigonometric function actually allow us only to go in first and second quadrant, not in third and fourth quadrant, because sign is negative in third and fourth quadrant. So we will just remain strict in first and second. First, in first quadrant we got the values. Now for the second value, we need to subtract this 45 degree from 180 degree. So we will, this is actually your first angle, theta 1, and the theta 2, the second angle, will be 180 minus 45, which after subtraction will give you 135. So we got two values, 45 and 135. So this is actually these two values are not the solution, because sine of this angle is like the angle is not single in this case. Like it is not x or theta or something like this. The angle is this whole bracket. So we will actually put these two angle equal to this angle. Minus 30 equals to 45, and then half of x minus 30 equals to 135. Now all we need is to make x subject from here, okay? And that can happen if we bring this negative 30 on the other side. So when I bring this negative 30 on the other side, it will become 45 plus 30, which will make it 75. And the next step is, let me scroll down it a bit so that you can see it clearly. Um, Now I will just multiply this 2. Multiplying 2 with 75 will gives you 150. Next one is half x equals to 135 plus 30. It will become 165, half of x, and multiply this one. Okay, after multiplying this with 2, we get 330. So we got these two values. One is x equals to 150 and the other one is 330. X equals to 330. Now that the values which you got, like 30 and 150, how could you know that these two answers are correct or not? Simply what you have to do is to put x equals to 130, x equals to 150 in the given equation in place of x. If you'll put it in place of x, and in the right hand side, if you get the answer on the right hand side, it means your answer is correct. Like both sides will be equal after putting the value of 150. Same is for the other, the second one, the second angle 330. If you put it in a given equation, trigonometric function equation, if it satisfies both sides, it means that answer is also correct. So this is the way through which you can know. Thank you very much for watching. Allah Hafiz.